I'm gonna favor Tank in this fight on this matchup. But it should be a good one.
I agree. They both have blazing fast hands and real punching power. That's true, both of them. And they both got guts, to make this fight. It's not an accident he keeps running people into these big shots, Tim. You know, it's not happening just because. He's setting fighters up. He's for an aggressive, brawling type of fighter. Tank has a high boxing IQ.
Max Kellerman and Timothy Bradley Jr. weighed in on the potential clash between Davis and Stevenson, carefully analyzing what both fighters bring to the table. Bradley showed a slight preference for Davis, pointing to his ring experience along with his explosive power and versatile skill set as key advantages.
And I love the fact that Tank actually accepted this battle. I'm going to favor Tank Davis in this fight because he has experience, he's well seasoned, and there's not one punch you got to worry about. You got to worry about all of the punches he throws. He has a right hook, he has a straight left hand, he has an uppercut that can turn your life.
Max Kellerman shines a spotlight on Shakur Stevenson, emphasizing how his championship victories, elite technique, and exceptional defensive ability have already secured his place as one of boxing's brightest talents, making him a fighter that both hardcore fans and newcomers can't help but keep their eyes on.
When you rank fighters in a division, it has to be based on merit, who they beat. It must be the resume because they're earning a shot at the title.
Yes.
That is not the same as pound for pound.
Okay.
Pound for pound is what you truly believe in a given moment, right? So, yes, you should have some evidence. It can't just be a hunch.
Right.
But once you have the evidence you think you need, like, for example, that fight,
Come on, man.
it is legitimate for someone to say that they believe that Shakur is the best pound for pound fighter in the world. When I listen to what you say, Shady, what I'm hearing is, look, underneath, I really think Shakur is number one, but because I gotta give credit to Usyk for what he's doing in a bigger division, and you know what? I kind of agree with that.
Timothy Bradley Jr. went on to stress that true greatness comes from taking down elite competition. He pointed out that Gervonta Davis views himself as the top name in the division, but plenty of others believe they belong in that spot as well. Bradley admitted he previously leaned toward Shakur Stevenson, though his recent performances have made him reconsider, noting that both fighters show small vulnerabilities, turning the matchup into a very tight contest.
I mean, to be the best, you got to beat the best. Gervonta Davis, including himself, he believes he's the best 135-pounder out there. But you got other guys that think they the best. So now you got to fight. I was heavy on Shakur at one point, but then his last couple of performances kind of throw me off a bit. It's certain things that I see that he does inside the ring that where Tank can take advantage of him. And then there's certain things that I see that he can take.
Timothy Bradley Jr. pointed out that Shakur Stevenson can be difficult to read inside the ring, with a lightning-quick left hook that poses serious danger. Even so, he leaned toward Gervonta Davis in this matchup, while still emphasizing that the fight has all the ingredients to be highly entertaining.
Worry about Ryan Garcia, of course, is his crazy left hook that he throws out of nowhere, blazing fast. But I'm going to favor Tank in this fight. On this matchup, it should be a good one.
Adding that Shakur Stevenson would likely dictate the pace with his ring IQ and disciplined defense, but warning that one explosive shot from Gervonta Davis could change everything in a split second, leaving the result wide open.
I don't know how good the fight will be, but I think Shakur is, again, like pound for pound, IQ-wise, I think he's even up there with a Terence and those kind of guys, you know. I think the difference with Boots is he's got the defensive mastercraft, and he also has the aggressive power to turn your lights out, and I think that's quite different. Do you know what I mean? Like Shakur, I say defensive. I think that's a bit harsh on Shakur, but he's not a huge puncher, but defensively and skill-wise, he's right up there.
He's a real technical fighter.
Oh, phenomenal.
Meanwhile, Reggie Lloyd explained that Shakur Stevenson holds the edge in pure boxing ability. He warned that Gervonta Davis can't afford to give away early rounds like the second and third, because once they slip away against someone like Shakur, they're nearly impossible to recover.
Shakur's a better boxer. Shakur's a better boxer. And again, like I was just saying about Tank giving away rounds. Can't give away 2 and 3 rounds to Shakur because you're not going to get them rounds back.
Zab Judah pointed out that Gervonta Davis brings solid footwork into the ring, highlighting his strong balance and smooth movement as key strengths.
Tank got good feet. Tank got good feet. He got good feet and good balance. I watch him. When he's at his best, that motherfucker drop down low and be moving. He got good feet and good balance. I'm not going to let y'all do that. He got he got good feet and good balance.
Get to him, Maul.
And he uses distance very well.
However, Justin Palmieri described the matchup as a clash between two of the division's elite names. He recognized that Shakur Stevenson is always prepared, even on short notice, and felt that situation could give him a slight edge. While applauding Stevenson's durability, Palmieri also questioned whether the fight will actually come together. Still, he added that if it does happen, Gervonta Davis could pull off a late stoppage in what would likely be a very competitive battle.
We're going to see that. It's the two best in that division going at it. But I still think Tank edges him out. I think Shakur looked great against Padley coming in on late notice, but it was Padley. You know what I'm saying? Dude was on a roof 2 hours before he stepped in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So, all respect to the world
for that. You know?
Yo, he got hard though. I love it. I love to see that, man. But yeah, nah. I want to see. I want to see the fight happen. Do I think it's ever gonna happen? I really don't. If I'm being honest, I don't think it's gonna happen. But if it did, give me Tank late stoppage.
Yeah,
late stoppage. Only because Shakur's gonna have to bang with him towards the end. I think he's gonna.
Is it competitive until the stoppage?
Oh, absolutely. It's the two best in the world. You know. But I'm just giving that edge to Shakur. I'm giving the edge to Tank over Shakur.
Chris Algieri drew attention to the stylistic showdown at 135 pounds, describing it as incredibly intriguing. He explained that Gervonta Davis brings relentless offense and fight-ending power, while Shakur Stevenson depends on sharp defense, precise timing, and control of range. According to Algieri, that clear contrast in styles is what makes the matchup so captivating and keeps fans debating one big question: who really stands at the top?
Tank has it all. And it's very interesting because we have a guy who's so good and so offensive and so destructive. And then we have another guy who's so defensive and so hard to hit and such a good judge of distance. It's a very, very interesting weight class, 135, which is exactly why we're talking about it right now.
Jim Lampley emphasized that Shakur Stevenson's status as the division's top defender makes him a tough challenge. He pointed out that if Gervonta Davis showed only a modest offensive performance, he might be reluctant to take big risks right away. Lampley suggested that a rematch with Lamont Roach would be a more logical next step, though he still felt that if the fight with Stevenson happened, the edge would likely favor Shakur.
Stevenson has a reputation as being the best defender in the division. He is a feared fighter because of that particular quality. If I'm Tank Davis and I'm coming off a disappointment in terms of my offensive output, I'm not going straight to the best defender in the division. I'm looking for some other fight, and I think the logical fight for him is a rematch with Lamont Roach. Let's see it again. Let's see if Roach can go ahead and capitalize on what he showed here tonight, which is he was a much better fighter at 135 pounds than most of us expected him to be.
Okay, who do you lean towards in Gervonta versus Shakur if that does happen? Who are you favoring?
Based on what I saw tonight, I would have to lean to Shakur Stevenson.
Fannin also praised Gervonta Davis's athleticism, explaining that when he's at peak condition, he can physically match Shakur Stevenson. He highlighted Davis's explosive speed, ability to close the gap quickly, and precise punch selection. Fannin added that while Tank doesn't throw a high volume of punches, each one lands with purpose, showcasing his ring intelligence and keen sense of timing.
Gervonta Davis to a T, nothing else does. As far as his athleticism, as long as he's in shape, easily matches the athleticism of Shakur Stevenson. If you look at the explosiveness, being able to win them punches fly off, them counting, easily, extremely explosive. Closes gaps quickly, extremely quickly. Punch selection is almost perfect. You look at the CompuBox stats for Gervonta Davis, he does not throw a lot of punches, but the punches that he throws work. Why? Because he has tremendous punch selection. He knows what punch to throw in what situation and is very intelligent and very educated in that regard. So obviously for me, that is somebody that is, I'm a fan of Gervonta Davis. I'm a fan of Shakur Stevenson. I want to see the fight.
Fannin expressed admiration for both fighters, highlighting his respect for Shakur Stevenson and acknowledging his impressive skill set. At the same time, he leaned toward Gervonta Davis, having followed and supported Davis throughout his career. Nevertheless, Fannin stressed that the matchup itself was the real focus, calling it a must-see fight that boxing fans genuinely needed.
May the best man win. Hey, I'm a little bit more of a Gervonta Davis guy. Will not lie, because I've been riding with the dude for his whole career. But dude, I'm a tremendous fan of Shakur Stevenson, and I know what Shakur Stevenson brings to the table. That's a very, that's an excellent fight that I want for the sport of boxing.
Oladipo emphasized that the showdown between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis is the fight fans have eagerly awaited. He explained that Stevenson moved up in weight because earlier opportunities didn't materialize, but the true contest everyone wants to see is Shakur versus Tank. Oladipo added that for American boxing and its audience, this fight represents a defining moment years in the making, surpassing any other potential matchup in significance.
Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis has to happen at 135. Now, Shakur going to 140, for me, is almost because he can't get the fights he wants at 135. The fight he wants is Tank Davis. He wants to fight Tank. And I'm telling you now, for American boxing, there might not be anything bigger. Shakur versus Tank is mad. Like Shakur versus Tio is good, but for the culture, Shakur versus Tank is the fight everyone wants to see. It's the fight we wanted to see for a long time now. I'd say about 3 or 4 years. Not Shakur versus Devon or Tank versus Devon no, Shakur versus Tank is what everyone wants to see.
Returning to Timothy Bradley Jr., he shared his long-standing admiration for Shakur Stevenson, admitting he has always followed his career closely. While occasionally critical, Bradley recognized that Shakur demonstrated an elevated level of skill and unwavering determination this time, proving he genuinely possesses both the heart and talent to achieve success.
I've always been a fan of Shakur. I've always been a fan of his brother.
Yeah.
I've been critical for Shakur, because I just know that he's a better fighter than sometimes he displays.
Yeah.
But I think this time around he gave us the total package this time around, which and to be honest with you, I think there's even another level. He has a lot of skills. He does, and he showed, including myself, because I have my doubts, and I'll be real, that he really got that dog in him.
Timothy Bradley Jr. considers Shakur Stevenson the favorite against Gervonta Davis, citing his superior defense and pinpoint accuracy as key strengths. He cautions, however, that Davis's raw power makes the outcome uncertain, as a single punch could instantly turn the fight, keeping the matchup unpredictable despite Shakur's technical advantage.
If that Gervonta Davis get in the ring with Shakur, I got Shakur all day, 7 days a week. But if we get in all the way locked in, Tank Davis, it's a little bit more of a difficult fight. If you really think about the style matchup between these two,
Yeah.
you got one of the best defensive fighters, if not the best defensive fighter in the game. You got one of the most accurate fighters, power punches in the game as well. But you have one that throws less punches. You probably got many of these top guys at 135 pounds, he throws the least amount of punches. You got a guy like Shakur who shows you that he has offense. I think stylistically would favor Shakur, based on his defense and his offense now.
Yeah.
But again, all the way locked in, all it takes is one.
Okay.
And if he lands that one, man, it could, I don't know, could be bad for Shakur, could be not. Maybe Shakur takes it.
Yeah.
We really haven't seen Shakur get hit with something that, that really got his attention, or changed his work. So, but yeah, I still think it's a fight. I think it'll be a boring fight.
Meanwhile, rumors of a clash between Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia are stirring excitement throughout the division. Garcia described the potential matchup as a battle of strategy rather than sheer force, recognizing Shakur's defensive mastery and noting that his speed and precise timing could throw even the most carefully crafted game plans off balance under pressure.
I beat in a 6th fight already, Devin Haney, which is longer, stronger, and faster than Shakur. So Shakur's better defensively, but he's never faced a guy as fast and with timing like myself.
Would you say that's probably the hardest fight for you right now?
No, it wouldn't be a hard fight. It would just be a thinking fight. And the thing is, you could think all you want. When punches are coming at you too quick, your brain can't react. I don't give a what you got going on. Your brain, you just get hit, get rocked. I mean, look at Devin Haney. He has good defense.
Ryan Garcia is fully committed to facing Shakur Stevenson, driven by the desire to prove he is the division's premier fighter. He sees this bout as a pivotal moment to determine who truly dominates the weight class and is ready to seize the opportunity to make a definitive statement.
Bro, I really wanted to fight Shakur bad. I just don't like those people that think they're like, you're not the best, bro. You're not even showing that you're that like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to win a fight, it's another thing to show I'm like that.
Yeah.
And he's out here saying, oh, I'm the best. Like, bro, you're not the best fighter, bro. There's a lot of guys that are monsters, bro. You're not a monster.
But I feel like
you're like a puppy.
Shakur Stevenson stated that no matter what approach Ryan Garcia brings, he intends to dictate the tempo and command the fight, signaling his goal to assert control over every second inside the ring.
It'll be a lot of excitement to that fight. It's a big money fight. Ryan Garcia is somebody that comes in there. You never know which version of him is going to show up. So if the good version of him show up, he gets spanked. If the bad version of him show up, he gets spanked. He don't stand a chance.
Ryan Garcia remains completely focused on taking on Shakur Stevenson, driven to test himself against one of boxing's elite. Confident in his abilities, he believes he can apply constant pressure and seize command in a bout brimming with intensity and high stakes.
Taking like the top now instead of a Haney rematch.
I just think that I'm one of those guys that I will just beat him. And I just think that everybody thinks he's just some savant in the ring, and I'm just here to take that away. That's pretty much what it is. They thought Devin Haney was the same way. He's unbeatable. That's what Eddie Hearn said, right? And then when I beat his... Same thing with Shakur. I know people are saying he's pound for pound, this and that, but I don't see it. He gonna have to prove it. I beat him in the amateurs. I'll beat him again, and I will hurt him. You don't understand me? Like, I will humble him in ways that he's never been humbled before. And that's it. Point blank period. I want to fight him. That's it. I mean...
How different?
AOE saw the fight as an easy victory for Shakur Stevenson, expecting him to win without much difficulty. From a fan's perspective, he noted that a Garcia triumph could boost the fight's appeal, even if the skill gap remained evident. AOE highlighted Garcia's strong marketability and dedicated fanbase, while also acknowledging Shakur's own value, making the matchup highly profitable despite the anticipated outcome.
That's easy money for Shakur, but easy money is easy money. Go get it if you can get it. They can make, like, I think that, like, from my standpoint, no, like Shakur was that. But from a fan standpoint, this win for Garcia might make it sellable for someone to be convinced that he got a shot against a Shakur at this point. So if you can sell it, go ahead and do it. That's good money for both of them. Garcia always marketable in the Mexican market, and then Shakur is who he is. So I think both of those guys together going to generate some revenue. It'll be a good fight, but I think Shakur obviously wins it easy.
AOE emphasized that Ryan Garcia's standout weapon is his signature left hook, one of the most threatening punches in the sport. However, he warned that relying on a single punch isn't enough against Shakur Stevenson unless it's cleverly set up and disguised. Facing an opponent with world-class range management and defensive skill like Shakur, AOE suggested that Garcia's opportunities would be very limited, leaving him with little more than a puncher's chance.
I do like in Ryan's favor is, you know, like I said, it's only a few guys that got special punches, you know what I mean, where it's like, it's that good. And his left hook is really that. But you just can't go into a fight against Shakur with one weapon without learning how to hide it, set it up, or deliver it, and think you're gonna win. So I don't think he got really anything other than a puncher's chance against Shakur. And that's a hell of a shot because you gotta hit one of the best judges of distance and defense in the game right now. So, I mean, I don't think he has a shot.
Robert Garcia analyzed a potential showdown between Ryan Garcia and Shakur Stevenson, highlighting Ryan's speed and power as his key strengths. He explained that Ryan would need to stay relentless and hunt for a knockout, while Stevenson's strategy would focus on managing distance, using his jab, countering effectively, and avoiding high-risk exchanges. Even with Shakur's technical edge, Garcia admitted that if he had to pick a winner, he would lean toward Ryan.
Probably faster, bro. And look, man, I could take that back. Maybe they're probably the same when it comes to fast. But I know Ryan has a lot more power. Ryan hits a lot harder than Shakur. So right there, any punch.
Devin Haney all over again?
Could be. Never know. I don't know, but you can't count Shakur, because Shakur's talented. But it's still an interesting fight. I would like to see it.
If Ryan were to fight him and it became concrete, what would he need to do to win that fight?
Just press and try to win by knockout. I don't think he'll win a decision, but try to win by knockout. And he has the power to knock him out.
What do you think Shakur needs to do if he had a chance?
Just fight the way he fights, smart. Keep him on the outside. Just use the long jab and counter punch and speed. Don't try to get in there and exchange, because if he tries to exchange, he'll get hurt and get knocked out.
If you could pick who wins that fight, who wins that fight? If you had to choose.
I can't go against Ryan anymore, so I'll pick Ryan.
Sergio Mora highlighted the stark contrast between the two fighters, describing Ryan Garcia as somewhat flat-foot, while portraying Shakur Stevenson as fast, elusive, and technically superior. He stressed that Shakur's Olympic-level skills, adaptability across weight classes, and defensive mastery diminished the impact of raw power. Mora compared him to legends like Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Andre Ward, citing his timing, confidence, and fluid movement, ultimately declaring Stevenson a truly exceptional talent.
Ryan Garcia is flat-footed. Shakur Stevenson is a cheetah in and out, man. I mean, he's been so successful from the Olympics to moving up in weight divisions. Power's not going to be enough for him. And if you're not going to be a volume puncher, like Ryan Garcia clearly is not a volume puncher, then how are you going to beat Shakur Stevenson? How are you going to be able to compete with that in-and-out southpaw style where he doesn't engage with you? The timing, the confidence, the momentum. Shakur is cut from the cloth of Floyd Mayweather Jr., Andre Ward, and these greats that don't get touched, they don't get hit. The defensive geniuses, Pernell Whitaker. I mean, these are big names, but Shakur's cut from that cloth, man.
David Benitez sees a matchup between Ryan Garcia and Shakur Stevenson as an electrifying contest that commands attention. He acknowledges Stevenson's skill and rising prominence in boxing, but emphasizes that true greatness requires bold choices rather than playing it safe. Benitez notes that defining moments like this shape a fighter's legacy and urges Stevenson to seize the opportunity while it remains within reach.
It's not an easy fight. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight. Like, I can't, I'm not gonna say Ryan Garcia go knock Shakur out. You know what I mean? I'm not saying Shakur's gonna go knock Ryan Garcia out. It's a 50-50 fight, and that's what we want to see. So, but like I said, that's just my opinion. If he feels like he's not ready to go up to 147, everybody has their opinion. Just like me, I'm not ready to go up to 200 pounds. You know what I mean? So I was just saying, that's just my...
David Benitez cautioned that Shakur Stevenson might regret passing on this fight, especially at the height of his career. He emphasized that true champions cement their legacy by confronting the toughest opponents rather than avoiding them. Size, he noted, isn't a barrier, as elite fighters adjust when it counts most, urging Stevenson to embrace this defining challenge before the opportunity slips away.
Passes. He's able to have this position, and him not taking that is going to hurt him, because at the end of the day, he's in the prime of his career. How old is he? Like 28?
Yeah,
29?
Yeah.
So he's becoming in the prime of his career. So for me, in my opinion, I think these are the best times where you should take these fights, make the biggest fights happen while you're in the prime of your career. I mean, and I'm not saying he's not going to be in the prime of his career when he's 30, 32, but this is really when it becomes. I mean, he can really get the best out of himself right now. So, but like I said, that's just my opinion. If he feels like he's not ready to go up to 147, everybody has their opinion. Just like me, I'm not ready to go up.
That's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we hope you enjoyed the breakdown.